This trip is the best thing that ever happened to us.
I know, but we'll always have Flagstaff, baby.
Cut!
Did you like it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it was
Let's
natural,
go on a
right?
break!
Yeah.
And we're going?
Yeah.
Okay, come on.
Hello there, and welcome to On the Set. I'm Jewel.
And I'm Elmar. Luckily, we're on a break right now, but please feel free to join us.
Elmer and I were just going to talk about the business we're involved in, filmmaking. We're in Arizona shooting a movie. Arizona is definitely no underdog in the process of filmmaking.
That's true. They shot many classic films in this area. All you have to do is take a look at the landscapes of Sedona and you will see why.
Sedona, often called the Red Rock Country, a place full of art and culture. Furthermore, one of the most popular film sets in northern Arizona. Over 100 feature films were shot in the Red Rock area, but also countless video productions and commercials were recorded here. Sedona is popular as a film set because of its rough nature. Laurie Reinhardt works at the Sedona Film Office. Here they assist production crews finding film locations.
Sedona really has a unique backdrop. You're not going to find the Red Rocks really anywhere else in the country in this amount. Sedona started really as a place for westerns. The first Sedona film was shot in 1923. It was Call of the Canyon. And really that started the whole process of the industry finding Sedona as a beautiful backdrop for westerns. Call of the Canyon was shot in 1923 up in Oak Creek Canyon. It was a very, very different place at the time. Most of Sedona was just dirt roads. There wasn't a lot of paved anything at that time. And during the filming of that movie, there was actually a tremendous thunderstorm and a flash flood that came through and washed out some of the roads. And so it kept filmmakers away for about another 6 or 7 years before they brought any filming back to Sedona because it freaked them out. Broken Arrow is probably the most well-known film that has been filmed in Sedona. It starred Jimmy Stewart and Jeff Chandler. It was released in 1950 and at that time was considered to have a very large budget. Their budget was over $2 million. And the Indians that were used in the film, the real White River Indians, the film company actually painted them darker because they didn't feel that they were dark enough skinned to look like real Indians.
The in 1945 recorded Leave Her to Heaven was the first film to use the Red Rock as a sphere-creating background. In earlier movies, the Red Rocks used to be more present than just sphere-creating. Not a Western movie, but also partly shot in Sedona is The Karate Kid. The film was released in 1984. This film is a good example that the Red Rock scenery is not per se used for Western films, but can also be used for other genre films.
Karate Kid was one of those road pictures where I believe the characters were traveling cross-country, moving from one area to another, and they came here to Sedona. I remember that in the film, I think they were in uptown Sedona. They went through a gas station, local gas station. It was really backdrop. With locations now, filmmakers really have to work harder to find just the right place, just because of the way the population has spread here in town. The locations are probably more limited, but boy, when you find one, they're really great.
Sedona is a beautiful area, isn't it? I can see why it lends itself perfectly for filming.
Well, it sure does. But not only Sedona offers good shooting locations, let me give you an example of a great movie that is seen shot right here in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Which one?
Forrest Gump.
Really? I love that movie.
So do I.
I didn't know it was partly shot in Flagstaff. That's really cool. Which scenes?
Well, look for yourself.
Standing on a corner in Flagstaff, Arizona. It's such a fine sight to see. I'm waiting for Forrest Gump to pass by to take a look at me. The epic scene where Forrest Gump is seen running through America and gives inspiration to a bumper sticker designer was shot here on San Francisco Street.
Another time I was running along.
Another running scene where Forrest Gump inspires a t-shirt designer was shot at a trading post called Twin Arrows.
Several other movies have also been shot in Flagstaff. Easy Rider, Little Miss Sunshine, Into the Wild and many more. Northern Arizona is also the home of people who are involved in the film industry. Writer, producer and director Joe Cardone is a graduate of NAU.
Joe Cardone has been making mysteries, horror films, science fiction and thrillers since the 80s. He tells us how he got involved in the film industry.
My wife actually got involved in the film business to start with as a producer. And when I came off the road as a musician, I wanted to expand my writing possibilities beyond doing lyric and music. I went to the set one day. She was shooting down in Tucson, Arizona. And I really sort of fell in love with it and thought, this is cool, I can do this.
In 2001, Joe shot The Forsaken, partly in Yuma, which he says is his favorite film location in Arizona.
What's your deal, man? What do you do? As little as possible. And what about the future?
And I'm not quite sure why I like it so much. It's just so insulated and isolated. It's a brutal landscape. It's really it's the hottest area in all of Arizona, and its landscape is very barren and very desolate. And for some reason, it lends itself to you know expounding on the characters, on the really deep sort of dark underbelly of characterization.
Joe sees Arizona as the perfect location for other filmmakers too.
Arizona really has always been, you know, it goes back to, if you go back to the John Ford days when they were shooting all the great, you know, John Wayne westerns, like The Searchers, and all those films were shot in Monument Valley in northern Arizona. In fact, in Flagstaff, Arizona, which a lot of people don't know, John Ford put up most of his crews on the weekends when they weren't on location. They would stay right at the Monte Vista Hotel here in Flagstaff and pretty much terrorize the town during their off hours on the weekends. But it's always really been a great place to shoot because, again, what a lot of people don't know in Arizona is the fact that you have the desert below the Mogollon Rim, and then you have the largest ponderosa pine forest in North America above the rim. And so there is a really diverse, you know, ecological look to the state, and it really lends itself to shooting film.
Whether used as a location or used as inspiration for filmmakers, Northern Arizona continues to take part in the magic of filmmaking. This was filmmaking in Flagstaff.
So even John Wayne stayed at the Monte Vista.
Yeah, a lot of famous people in the film industry have stayed over here in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Arizona is known for its beautiful landscapes, and that is why it's a popular location for making films. Often film crews and actors need a place to stay while on location. There are two well-known hotels in downtown Flagstaff that fit the bill. The first is the Weatherford Hotel, founded by John Weatherford, who also built the Orpheum Theatre just up the street and the Weatherford Highway. In the Orpheum Theatre, Weatherford showed Flagstaff's first movies. Another hotel in Flagstaff is the Monte Vista, on the corner of South San Francisco Street and Aspen. Monte V Hotel worker Christian Kuikendahl tells us about the hotel.
And we are a national historical hotel. It was the longest publicly owned hotel in America.
When you visit the Monte V, you can see why it is an historic building.
Just trying to keep it in the original style that it was, to maintain the era, you know, that this hotel was built in. And the architecture even is just so original. Every room is different. Every closet is a different size, it's in a different place, you know, doors are in different places, there's little hidden nooks, and, you know, it's definitely an older style. It's a very eccentric building.
Flagstaff citizens aren't the only one who like the Monte Vista Hotel.
Back during the 20s and 30s, a lot of celebrities, film stars, stayed here at the hotel. Flagstaff and Sedona was a very popular area for filming due to the beautiful red rocks in Sedona and, you know, the clear air out here out west. A lot of westerns were filmed. And a lot of these stars stayed here. This was really the only accommodations that they had. And we are right on Route 66, so it was an easy find. We've not named the rooms after a few of them due to their requests, but most of the rooms are named after famous celebrities that have stayed here.
The hotel is not only used for housing celebrities, it's also a beautiful location to shoot movie scenes.
There is a rumor that that Casablanca with Humphrey Bogart, who's very famous, was filmed here in the Monte Vista. It was actually, we found out that it was a different film. It was also called Casablanca, but it was two separate words, Casablanca, meaning White House, and purportedly it was filmed here in the lobby.
Both the Montevi and the Weatherford Hotel are certainly worth paying a visit to.